Welcome to the wood shop. This is Joe with Youngblood Family Farm, and I'm on my lunch break right now, and I thought I would talk about some of the things that I get to do as a wood shop teacher. So come on along, we're going to talk a little bit about dust collection. So let's talk about dust collection. I teach in a high school wood shop class, and behind me here is our big dust collector, and it is a modern Oneida direct drive 7.5 horse dust collection system, and it's got 2 large filters. If I take you this way, you'll see better, and those filters filter the air before it comes back in the shop, and then dust will go into this 55-gallon drum. And with the cyclone method, it really separates fine sawdust and bigger chunks of sawdust, has them drop into the barrel down below, and minimum amount of sawdust comes into here. With that being said, there is a need for smaller dust collection systems, and this is a very common, basically it's a squirrel fin that just kind of draws the sawdust out of the machines and pulls it in. And then these are the old models, and this is a model that we would use at the router table quite often. The issue with these is the filtering. When a vacuum or any suction device, when the filter gets clogged, it loses draw, and it loses it quickly. And so a lot of times we don't need a large capacity using the router or even the sander. We don't need a large capacity for the sawdust. It helps, but then you got a bigger, you got more to clean up, more to throw away, more weight to move possibly. This 55-gallon drum ends up weighing quite a bit after you plane and joint and use a table saw. It gets pretty dense in there. And so our solution is the little brother to this, and this is the Dust Deputy. Let's see if we can go in there, Dust Deputy. And you can see that the vacuum that we power it with is quite small. It's only a 5-gallon vacuum, but it's a 4.5 horse, and I'm not sure on the CFMs, but it's way more CFMs than some of those bigger units. And so I will try to do that figuring and make sure I get that in the contents below. So what I'm going to do is I have a pile of sawdust here. So currently you can see that the bottom of the bucket, it's only a 5-gallon bucket, the bucket is clean. And the bottom of the vacuum is clean, and the filter is clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the vacuum on. There will be a little bit of noise. I will try to talk over it. I have my microphone on, and we'll see how that goes. But what you will see is sawdust will be drawn in through this hose, and it will come in. You will see the sawdust swirl around inside the cone. The suction is going to come from here. Sawdust should fall down in here, and it should not go into the vacuum. And I'm going to try to make sure I don't overfill the system, because you overfill the system, definitely it will change the results. So we'll see if I can talk over the noise. So you can see it swirling. Get you a little closer. Sometimes it's a little more fun to watch the little bits go in. You can actually see them swirl around. And when that sawdust gets too heavy and it ends up falling, Now I'm aware that the capacity probably isn't real great inside a 5-gallon bucket. So after I got done vacuuming, just so that I didn't have to try one-handing this, I loosened up the top of this bucket and I loosened up the vacuum. So we can open this up and you can see that that 5-gallon bucket is about, I'd say 2/3 full. And inside this, see if that'll balance, and it doesn't, that's okay. Inside this we have all sorts of different size sawdust, even some small chunks, and I can see some real fine stuff inside there. We come over to the shop vac and we lift the shop vac up, and you can see that there is a little bit of fine sawdust on that, and the bottom of it is pretty well clean. And I'm sure that that fine sawdust is, you know, it wouldn't be there if you were working on, say, a bigger saw. And definitely some of that came from sawdust that had, you know, from sanding. So what's my opinion of this little setup? The Dust Deputy itself, with the buckets and the little wheel system and the little hunk of foam and some hoses, was right around $99. The vacuum was right around $50, so $150 into a dust collector. You can't do that if you look at like one of these. That's at least $150, and it doesn't, you know, your filter gets clogged constantly when you operate it. Now, I don't know how long we'll run with these. It might be worthwhile to maybe find like a 30-gallon barrel and attach the vacuum to the side of that or something. I don't know. I'm pretty impressed. If that filter gets a little clogged, some compressed air will clean it out very quickly. I like that it's a 5-gallon pail. It can be carried very easily or even just dumped in the trash. Without a doubt, the Cyclone does a lot of great separation and it keeps your filter clean without having to spend thousands of dollars. You could hook up longer hoses, you could have this stationary, or you could have it portable. I've even seen guys that will run one of these into a second one to even minimize that sawdust even more. So, hey, this is Joe, Youngblood Family Farm. I'm at work at lunch, and I'm just trying to share some cool technology that you guys can use on your farm or in your little wood shop as well. So thanks for joining me. If you like what you see here, subscribe. And if you liked coming into the wood shop, let me know about that. So have a good day. Bye now.